essentially Chicago had become such an integral part of global markets, right? You're bringing ships off the Atlantic via the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Erie Canal. The world begged the question, when is Chicago coming back? The titans of industry needed the shipping, they needed the lumber, they needed everything to happen, the rail yards, right? The city is heavily invested in. People come from around the world to put their signature on this new city being built. We introduced the world to steel framing in 1885, giving rise to skyscrapers thanks to William LeBaron Jenney. People like Daniel Burnham, Edward H. Bennett, John Root, the Wacker family, Louis Sullivan, among others. They built the White City. 1893, put the city back on the map. 1933, we host another World's Fair called the Century of Progress Fair. All these years later, we're talking about that catastrophe and actually giving homage to it for allowing us to come back and rebuild this city, stronger, bolder, wiser. And now it's a global race as firms all over the planet are, hastily putting together plans to build taller buildings and to make things look cooler as time goes on. Hopefully these stories speak to you, the architectural styles speak to you. Enjoy downtown Chicago, and remember, because this here city is one that was built from the ashes of the original, that is why we call Chicago the Second City. Welcome, welcome to the Second City. Other good nicknames for Chicago, some of which I believe I mentioned, we're known as the Windy City, the City of Big Shoulders. We're known as the City That Works, the Hog Butcher to the World. We're known as Paris on the Prairie, more recently Chi-Town, Chi-City, right? If you're cool, I am not. And in the winter, during the 9.5 months that we experience winter here in Chicago, welcome to Siberia. That is, of course, ridiculous. We don't talk about winter, not when you're on the not when you're on the Festivus on a beautiful summer's day here in Chicago. With all that said, my friends, if you learned a few things on this journey, had a good time, found the trip worth your hard-earned money, please make some noise for us. Let us hear you. Keep it going for the captain, keep it going for our crew, keep it going for our servers who work very hard, keep it going for my family and friends who are here today. You guys just had to tolerate 90 minutes of this. They've had a lifetime. Now, as we come into the dock here, I know the inclination is to run off the boat and get on to the next best thing. Please do remain seated, stay where you are. This plane is still taxiing. Once we're all done here, Captain Joe will be on the microphone. He'll give you your instructions for disembarkation. I will be the first one to go off the boat there at the starboard stern. I'll lead the way. When you leave, if you have any questions, want recommendations, or just to say thank you, I'll be there in the marina, right? My second favorite place to hang out. That's not on a boat, but near a boat. And people often ask about this when they leave, and I mention this because it benefits the captain, crew, and myself. People ask about tips and gratuities. They want to say thank you. And in the service industry, in tourism, yes, it's appropriate. If you enjoyed your journey, you want to say thank you, you can drop a little something in the bucket. I'm not selfish. The captain, crew, and myself, we split these tips, these gratuities. We're in it together. As you leave there, if you have it in your heart to give, we appreciate that. You'll see in my hand, actually, an unnecessarily large jar. I have Venmo and Cash App if you want to use my QR code or something like that. But that's the idea. We're a small family-owned business trying to make it here in the big city. We appreciate your appreciation. Have fun in Chicago. Stay safe. Careful as you exit today. And enjoy Chicago. And thank you all on a personal note for listening to me and all my nonsense. I couldn't really do it any other way. I like to keep it moving, keep it light, keep it fun. Good to have you all here on the Festivus. We'll see you next time here with Tours and Boats. Pleased to have you all. See you next time. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks very much. We did it. We totally did it. 90 minutes here on the Chicago River. And as we come into the dock, sit tight for a second, friends. We'll give you the instructions for disembarkation. It's great to have you all. See you next time.
Tighten that one or? Huh? Pull the slide. Bye.